We met Setsu, who reincarnated himself into the real world, after fighting as a hero summoned to another world, but one day, his class is randomly summoned, and he finds himself in another world, but he still has all his powers since he was a hero. It seems that 5 years have passed since he disappeared and the war against demons has begun. He is back with his old friends, met his companions, who don't recognize him at first but are happy to have him back, but he worries that Toma is behind the new war, as he senses that the demons are being controlled by his cursed magic, and sets out to protect his friends. The story continues with the duo arriving on the shores of the demon continent, where Lydia encounters the Kraken, leading to an epic kaiju battle. As Rory sits there in terror, the girl in the game stops seeing the Setsu and asks for help. When the Kraken seems to have the upper hand, Lydia even splatters a ridiculous amount of ink, only to be captured after a short fight. The sea god gains the upper hand again, and defeats the Kraken and arrives there in his human form. He officially introduces Livia as his good friend. The sea god turns out Ruri even sets his sights on her, lucky to have the opportunity. Thrilled to have this opportunity, Lydia turns her attention to the Setsu, and begins to resent him for not helping her, stating that the ink marks on her body are the result of her inaction, explaining that she expected it not to be the Kraken. It's a challenge for him to deal with the character, and he admits that he wanted to witness a spectacular continuous kaiju battle because it's so rare that the ocean god suddenly lands, after 5 years of no contact, starts to complain about being bullied, which he considers rude, was in contact with him so that he could act as an organic boat to get to the demon continent, even after he left it to Finn to fend for himself in battle, which causes Setsu to blush as he lists all of his possessions did something wrong. They stop when Ruri wants to know what they're going to do with the defeated Kraken because they can't leave him lying like that, as Lydia comments that Setsu will take care of it. The guy was surprised the responsibility is on her. She thinks outside the box, and after a while she makes squid rings out of them and the first batch is ready, and Rory blows it to cool it down, but she looks reluctant to eat it. The girl has some courage, finds and takes her first bite. She loves it. Lydia also comments that she hasn't had her famous deep-fried calamari in a long time, but she prefers it. Continent. Lydia points out that there is a fishing village nearby, and that there is evil beyond this mountain. Barrow Demon Lord's castle. Setsu, upset where his package should go, comments that he also has business with the recipient, Lydia. He wonders if there is a package from the man to stop the ocean. Ruri is surprised that Lydia knows who to give up and is shocked that she doesn't know who the ocean god is. Des says that his package is for the demon lord Des, which causes a look of fear on his face. He even loses color as Lydia tells him that the rest of the trip will be on foot. He will die, feels like his job is over, and Setsu starts to leave, a little surprised that he isn't accompanying them. Lydia points out that she kept her promise, and kept oceanic peace in the seas, like bowing to him with a new female companion, but he expects her not to be offended. Setsu doesn't have a clear explanation. He gets her attention. Some devil boys pull his shirt asking if they had a fight with their crush, and advise him to apologize no matter what, since he is a man. The boys conclude that he does not understand female nature. Their comments start to drive him crazy, so he gives them squid rings, and tells the kids they love it. He states that they should make some for their parents. Lydia is open to the idea as Ruri has a lot of Kraken left, and also points out that if they make some for the villagers it will rot and go to waste option, so he loads it on a cart and drives off with it to the village before he arrives. The villagers are in a miserable situation, as the Kraken's presence makes it worse for them to be unable to fish, which is an impending war with the humans. If things continue like this, trade is cut off, their food stores will soon run out. One of the villagers has had enough, so they get together and offer to fight the squid. They promise to eat right away, and the villagers are surprised to find that the dreaded squid has returned as their meal, until that evening, when the villagers celebrate the squid's death. The Setsu cooks fried squid. He even impresses with his display of swordsmanship, while Liwa is given VIP treatment because she is seen as a god. They give her the best seat. During this time the Devil Lord's personal bodyguard is the best. Eat with drink, walks around, and in the distance he sees the village lit up. He interprets it as a human attack, and runs towards the village to save his people, while Rory calls Lever to discuss Setsu, and how he knows they belong. He explains that he fought with the Demon Lord 5 years ago, when Setsu tried to cross the ocean without his permission. After he defeated him he recruited him to help end the war, and he tells a story where he reveals that Setsu is a famous hero. This makes her sad about her kingdom, but it also explains her power, and how she knows such high-ranking people. A confused Lydia, who no longer knows why she respects a man of her stature, unless asked, insists that he will not talk about it. With Lydia's promise to Setsu, the recent decrease in sea accidents, Rui wants to know if the god of the sea is angry with Setsu. Based on his previous comments, he was disappointed, but seeing him again after a long time, a happy girl notices him staring at Setsu, and commenting that he should love her. Lydia tries to play it down by saying that a sea god can't fall in love with a human, and their heart-to-heart stops when Vlad announces that he's willing to put himself out there and save the villagers. The villains all look at her. The surprised kids have to offer her squid rings. She realizes there's no danger after having another party. She puts up a sign telling people it's sold, but this is when things start. While Rory sleeps, Lydia grabs a fresh fish from the dock. Vlad lays low and apologizes for his previous actions, surprised to see him around the village in his human form. Setsu joins them and sees Vlad. He was happy. Until now, he recognizes Setsu by the magic power of the sword and the sound of the squid, but he talks about his appearance change. The hero finds it strange that the closest officer of the Demon Lord is outside the castle. He wants to know why, while Vlad confirms his suspicions. He discovers that he is looking for Libya. He is surprised that the lost hero Setsu is also there. He swallows his pride and pleads with them to save the Demon Lord. Vlad explains that he is asking to marry a man named Desistale. Tarin Lydia doesn't see a problem with it, but the head guard says it's not a good order, because the Demon Lord is being subjugated through a set of curses. A powerful curse is embedded in the necklace. The hero's intrigued by this spell. Even a Demon Lord can't be defeated, and Vlad is even more surprised when he says that the humans invaded the war about a month ago with massive weapons, and even soldiers who, like the people, have left the flag of their country behind, and they have sent ambassadors, but have not yet heard from them. Taking advantage of the Demon Lord's reluctance to go to war, Tarin offers to negotiate on their behalf, believing that Vlad has the power to finish him off. War because he is the richest merchant in the world. Most of the merchant ships in the sea belong to his company. He is basically the Jeff Bezos of the fantasy world. Both humans and demons need merchants to wage war across the continent, so he has something. When leverage Setsu starts arguing with Vlad about the matter, promising that it's no honor that the Demon Lord is willing to become a slave to stop this war, Lydia points out that he's doing it because he made a promise to himself. Keep calm, this blow will set you up a bit, because the sea god continues. It's just that the stupid woman clings to the promise she made to the missing person, but that's why they face her alone to prevent them. Vlad continues to give them more details about the situation, but the date of the wedding ceremony is unknown. What does he know? He knows that they have no time to waste. The head guard warns that Tarin is surrounded by skilled guards. Along the way to the castle determines who can try his magical powers and serve him. Lydia says that she will deal with all the fodder, causing Vlad to bow gratefully. Livia had the ability to follow him, and the two of them quickly set off into the night. As they ran through the forest, the monsters attack, but Liva quickly deals with them. They stop for a moment to discuss their plan, which is to stop the wedding and defeat Tarin, and both give a clear time frame and type of enemy, which makes sure that these attacks are not from both sides, but from a third party. Just like the last war, this war was not started by accident, and this is very convenient. Tarin shows up selling peace with the cursed necklace, so he makes sure the merchant at least knows they're attacked by the beasts again, and Liva deals with them once more, commenting on how much stronger he is. Into castle like the sea, God thinks about how lucky he is to see another part of the world thanks to Setsu's adventures. He returns to the present when the destination appears, and concludes part 2.